Honorable Speaker, my apologies. Quite a number of distractions. I think members are quite excited to be back after the short break. I'm told we are all behaving like an opening day in school. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Senate amendments to the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16, be now rejected. Honorable Speaker, the amendments, Honorable Speaker, proposed to the debt anchor of the PFM Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2023, as proposed by the Senate, Honorable Speaker, would be very detrimental, especially to our work as the National Assembly, in line with the provisions of Article 95 and 221 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, particularly the proposal to have, or rather to receive reports and pass resolutions on matters related to national government borrowing will impact the fiscal operations and financial management of the national government, especially when the resolutions relate to borrowing and which affect substantial amounts of the national government budgets and operations. Honorable Speaker, this will further curtail the function, as I said, of the National Assembly in the consideration of national government budgets when they are submitted every year by the 30th of April. This is solely under the purview, as I said, Honorable Speaker, of the National Assembly pursuant to Articles 95 and 221 of the Constitution, and this provisions, Honorable Speaker, are usually time-bound, that the estimates both on borrowing and the budget estimates, Honorable Speaker, must be tabled before the National Assembly by the 30th of April each year. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, if we are to go with the proposals or amendments as done by the Senate, Honorable Speaker, it means we will significantly interfere with the timelines of the budget-making process. And that is part of the reason why the committee decided to oppose the amendments as proposed by the Senate. Further, Honorable Speaker, the committee also did note that these proposals further introduce a new layer of bureaucracy in the approval of borrowing, which could affect the smooth implementation of our national government budgets. And furthermore, Honorable Speaker, consideration of the report by both houses could lead to conflicting resolutions on the national government borrowing without any available mechanism for the resolution of such a disagreement. And Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true. If there is a disagreement between this House and the Senate on issues to touch on borrowing, it will in a big way affect the budget making process, which is strictly under the purview of the National Assembly. And Honorable Speaker, the drafters of our 2010 Constitution were clear when they give the power of the purse to the National Assembly. And I note the Honorable John Buddy is back in the House, Honorable Speaker. And having been in this House at the time when we began implementation of the 2010 Constitution, and being an accomplished accountant, he will tell you that the power of the purse having been given under Articles 94 to 96 to the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker, and also in line with Article 221, we must jealously protect that power and mandate given to this House. And therefore, I want to agree that we move this House to reject the amendments done by the Senate. And Honorable Speaker, then we can kick off a mediation process. And you can imagine, Honorable Speaker, as I said, should we find ourselves in such a situation at the time of budget making and we have disagreements, even on an amendment of a comma or a prefix of a word, Honorable Speaker, it will lead to another mediation process which could take months. And we have seen with the Division of Revenue Bill in the past, mediation going all the way up to the end of a financial year, Honorable Speaker, almost to the end of a financial year. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, it will greatly curtail our budget-making process. And I want to beg, Honorable Speaker, that we do agree with the committee and safeguard the role of the National Assembly under Article 95 of the Constitution and protect our budget-making process, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with that, I beg to move, and I want to ask the Chair of the Privatization Committee, the Honorable Shuria, to second.
Honorable Shuria. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I seek to second the motion by the Leader of Majority. Honorable Speaker, I would also like to appreciate members of the Public Debt and Privatization Committee for their commitment and ensuring that their report is tabled on time. Honorable Speaker, in the consideration of the bill, the committee noted and appreciated the important role of the Houses of Parliament playing in legislation, at times acting in unison. However, there are limits. As per Article 93(2) of the Constitution, we must appreciate that both houses have different mandates. Honorable Speaker, the committee noted that the primary amendments by the Senate will degrade the functions of the National Assembly, especially when both houses consider and most importantly pass resolutions relating to national government borrowing. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the oversight role of these national governments borrowings on matters of public financial management is the preserve of the National Assembly as per Article 95 of the Constitution. Thus, any reporting requirements imposed in the bill for the national government to comply with should be considered and approved by the National Assembly. This, according to the committee, will reduce conflict whereby two houses may give conflicting resolutions and equally reduce bureaucracy in the matter of assessing the operational of debt threshold. Honorable Speaker, this House notes the critical role that public debt plays today. As such, it seeks to spearhead legal reforms to ensure fiscal policies are sustainable through fiscal consolidation measures. In fact, research has shown that countries that enact reforms have had their debt to GDP ratio fall by 3% on average over a multi-year period. Honorable Speaker, the amendments as adopted by the National Assembly are intended to kickstart this process. We propose that we do not lose sight of this. Honorable Speaker, with this, I beg to second.
Order, honorable members. Karemba, order. Majority Leader, take your seats. Honorable members, before I propose the question, you should note that if we are rejecting the amendments by the Senate, the upshot will be to go to mediation. And if the mood of the House will be that you are agreeing with the Majority Leader and the committee chairman, then we limit debate as much as possible in the interest of time, so that you give me an opportunity in the afternoon to give you a communication nominating members to the mediation team to go and sit with the senators. I have been requested by the Honorable Farah Maalim that I give him 2 minutes to say something. So after I propose the question, I'll give him 2 minutes, then I'll put the question. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the amendments to the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2023, be now rejected. Farah?
With this? Yeah. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for giving